Taehyung's name has once again become the center of attention in the K-pop world, and this time it is for a compelling reason. Amid the second half of 2025, a period filled with major comebacks, ambitious debuts, and fierce competition among top-tier idols, one figure emerged with a presence that was impossible to ignore. Taehyung, a BTS member known for his artistic individuality and natural charisma, officially earned the title Male Idol Who Shined the Brightest in the second half of 2025 at the prestigious Forbes K-pop Awards 2025. This recognition is far more than a symbolic victory. It reflects Taehyung's ability to maintain relevance and influence in an industry that moves at an extraordinary pace. From July to December 2025, his name consistently dominated various platforms ranging from global media coverage and fan communities to cross-cultural conversations. While many idols competed for attention through aggressive strategies, Taehyung stood out through a calmer, more refined approach that delivered a powerful and lasting impact. The Forbes K-pop Awards are known for their rigorous evaluation standards. This title was awarded based on a combination of key indicators, including media impact, public response, fandom strength, and measurable global appeal. Across all these aspects, Taehyung demonstrated outstanding performance. He was not only widely talked about, but also remembered, a significant distinction in an era where popularity is often fleeting. What makes this achievement even more compelling is the context in which it occurred. Taehyung was not in a phase of full-scale promotion or overwhelming exposure. Yet this is precisely where his strength became most evident. Every appearance, project, and activity felt carefully curated and meaningful. Many observers believe that the second half of 2025 marked a new phase of maturity for Taehyung, one where influence no longer needs to be proven because it is already acknowledged. Among fans, the award was met with both pride and emotion. For ARMY, the title feels like a validation of Taehyung's long artistic journey, one defined by continuous growth without the loss of identity. For the general public, it serves as a reminder that Taehyung's appeal extends far beyond visuals or the global stature of BTS, rooted instead in an authentic and consistent artistic character. More than simply shining, Taehyung is widely regarded as an artist capable of leaving a lasting impression. He does not merely exist in a moment, he stays in memory. Forbes itself highlighted how his influence in the second half of 2025 felt deeper and more enduring, resonating with global audiences across diverse backgrounds, rather than relying solely on viral moments. With the title Male Idol Who Shined the Brightest in the second half of 2025, Taehyung once again reinforces his position as one of the most influential figures of the current K-pop generation. This achievement speaks not only to numbers and popularity, but to impact, consistency, and meaningful presence. Now, public attention naturally turns back to him. If the second half of 2025 has already marked such a significant milestone, one major question remains: how far will Taehyung's light continue to grow? Industry insiders note that Taehyung's influence during this period extended well beyond traditional metrics. His presence shaped trends, sparked discussion, and subtly guided the cultural mood within and outside the K-pop sphere. Whether through artistic expression, public appearances, or moments of quiet visibility, Taehyung demonstrated that impact does not always require constant exposure, it requires intention. Observers have also pointed out that this phase highlights a broader evolution in how success is defined for global idols. Rather than relying on sheer volume of releases or non-stop promotion, Taehyung's trajectory reflects a shift toward longevity and substance. His work during the latter half of 2025 suggested an artist fully aware of his identity and confident in allowing his influence to speak for itself. This approach has resonated strongly with international audiences. Across regions and cultures, fans and casual listeners alike have responded to the sense of authenticity that surrounds Taehyung's public image. Analysts suggest that this universal appeal is precisely what elevated him above fierce competition, solidifying his place at the forefront of the industry during this period. As conversations around the Forbes K-pop Awards continue, many now view this recognition as a defining marker rather than a peak. It signals a moment of transition, one where Taehyung is no longer simply recognized for his potential, but acknowledged for the depth and durability of his impact. The second half of 2025 may, in retrospect, be remembered as a turning point in how his legacy is discussed. Looking ahead, expectations remain high, yet measured. Taehyung has consistently shown that his career is guided by purpose rather than urgency. With each step carefully chosen, anticipation grows not from speculation, but from trust that whatever comes next will carry the same thoughtfulness and resonance that define this award-winning period. As the K-pop landscape continues to evolve, Taehyung stands as a rare constant, an artist whose light does not flicker with trends, but steadily expands. And as the industry watches closely, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This recognition may not mark the height of his influence, but merely the beginning of an even broader horizon. In many ways, Taehyung's journey during this period has become a reference point for a new generation of artists navigating global fame. His ability to balance visibility with restraint has challenged long-standing assumptions about how idols must remain constantly present to stay relevant. Instead, Taehyung has shown that selective presence, when paired with sincerity and artistic clarity, can be even more powerful. Cultural commentators have noted that this measured approach has strengthened, rather than diluted, his connection with audiences. Each appearance feels anticipated, each project carefully framed, allowing space for interpretation and emotional engagement. This sense of intentionality has contributed to an image that feels less manufactured and more enduring, an increasingly rare quality in an industry driven by speed and saturation. The recognition from Forbes also carries symbolic weight beyond the award itself. It reflects a broader acknowledgement from the global industry that influence today is multifaceted. Taehyung's impact is not confined to charts or headlines. It exists in the way his work inspires discussion, shapes aesthetic sensibilities, and resonates across cultural boundaries. Such influence is difficult to quantify, yet unmistakable in its reach. As analysts look back on the latter half of 2025, many suggest that this period encapsulates a defining chapter in Taehyung's career, one where artistry, identity, and global presence align seamlessly. Rather than chasing momentum, he appears to be building something more lasting, a legacy grounded in depth, intention, and emotional resonance. With the industry continuing to shift and redefine itself, Taehyung's path offers a compelling blueprint for sustainable influence. His recognition as the male idol, who shined the brightest in the second half of 2025, now reads less like a singular achievement and more like a milestone along a much longer road. As anticipation quietly builds for what lies ahead, one sentiment is shared across fans, critics, and industry observers alike. Taehyung's story is far from reaching its climax. If anything, this moment signals a steady ascent, one guided not by urgency or noise, but by purpose, vision, and a light that continues to grow with time. Beyond the immediate recognition, Taehyung's achievement has also reignited conversations about artistic individuality in an industry often shaped by formulas. Throughout the latter half of 2025, his choices, both creative and personal, reflected a confidence that comes from understanding one's own rhythm. Rather than conforming to expectations, he appeared increasingly comfortable setting them, allowing his work and presence to unfold organically. This sense of autonomy has not gone unnoticed. Industry professionals point out that Taehyung's influence now operates on multiple levels: as a performer, as a cultural figure, and as an artist whose sensibilities quietly inform broader trends. From fashion and visual aesthetics to musical direction and public perception, his imprint during this period was subtle yet unmistakable. Fans, too, have observed a deeper emotional connection emerging. Many describe this phase as one where Taehyung feels more accessible, not through constant updates but through sincerity. His moments of expression, however few, carry weight, reinforcing a bond built on trust rather than frequency. It is this dynamic that has helped sustain long-term engagement while attracting new audiences beyond the traditional K-pop sphere. As discussions continue around the meaning of influence in modern entertainment, Taehyung's recognition at the Forbes K-pop Awards increasingly stands as an example of how impact can evolve. Success is no longer defined solely by dominance in every moment, but by the ability to remain significant over time. In this sense, the latter half of 2025 represents not an endpoint, but a recalibration, one that aligns achievement with authenticity. Looking forward, speculation remains deliberately restrained. Taehyung has cultivated an image that values depth over immediacy, making future steps feel less like expectations and more like discoveries waiting to unfold. This measured pace only heightens anticipation, as audiences trust that whatever comes next will reflect the same clarity and intention that defined this award-winning period. As the K-pop industry continues to move forward, constantly reshaping its standards and narratives, Taehyung's presence endures as a steady reference point. His light, refined rather than amplified, continues to expand, suggesting that this recognition may one day be remembered not as the peak of his influence, but as the moment when its true scope began to fully emerge. In conclusion, Taehyung's recognition as the male idol who shined the brightest in the second half of 2025 is not merely a celebration of a successful period, but a reflection of a deeper transformation in how influence is earned and sustained. His journey throughout this time illustrates that true impact is built through intention, authenticity, and a clear sense of artistic identity, qualities that cannot be manufactured or rushed. What sets this moment apart is its quiet confidence. In an industry often driven by immediacy and constant visibility, Taehyung has demonstrated that restraint can be powerful, and that consistency over time carries greater weight than fleeting dominance. His influence has matured into something steady and far-reaching, resonating with audiences not only as an idol, but as an artist and cultural figure. As the K-pop landscape continues to evolve, Taehyung stands as a reminder that longevity is shaped by purpose rather than pressure. The latter half of 2025 will likely be remembered not simply as a highlight, but as a defining chapter, one that marked the emergence of a more enduring and self-assured phase of his career. With this recognition now part of his growing legacy, attention turns not to how loudly he will shine next, but to how thoughtfully his light will continue to expand. And if this period has proven anything, it is that Taehyung's influence is far from reaching its limits. It is only beginning to reveal its full depth.